What is your American dream?
My American dream is to have a combination of living in an urban environment with a lot of culture and beautiful things, but also being able to be around nature.
As someone who's not a Native American, the dream was to come here and do art and be creative and do it at a high level and have it seen by everyone out there, and it's definitely coming true.
I just want to do what I love and be able to make a living off of that.
American dream is like free, like everybody free, and then everybody friendly.
The American dream was to just come to the United States for a better and greener pastures, and I did achieve that.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! It's Earth Day! It's Earth Day! Oh, it's raining on Earth Day! How wonderful! We need the rain! Happy Earth Day, everybody! Happy Earth Day! Coming into the office now! Happy Earth Day! Oh yeah, so it's raining a little bit. Look at how nice it is though. Everything's in bloom. The cherry blossoms. Oh, look at these beautiful daffodils I picked up outside. And my little earth ball. Oh, hello, Brad Squad! Happy Earth Day 2019! That's right! Today, April 22nd, is Earth Day, and this year's theme is Protect Our Species, which is really protecting everything, everyone, everything, because we're all species. I'm a species, and yet, Brad Squad, you're a species too. But on Earth Day, we're going to worry about species who are looking at extinction. We're talking about the bees, and the giraffes, and the coral reefs, whales, elephants, insects, trees, plants, birds, fish, crustaceans, sea turtles, and the apes, the great apes, and don't forget the big cats. We need all the species to keep going or else we're not going to have a world. And that would be terrible because, where would I burrow? And guess what New York City is doing to try to save the planet? They've actually banned styrofoam. Hey, styrofoam. And they're going to get rid of plastic bags. Hey, it's not my fault, plastic bag. I don't make the rules. Get rid of that. Ugh. So New York is doing its best to try to help save the environment, and I am too. I never use plastic, and I never use styrofoam. I only use anything that's biodegradable, and really I just eat pretzels, so, that's not so bad for the environment. Anyway, good for New York, and it's good for me and all of my ilk, but we all need to be very, very conscious of our environment and do little things every day to try to help protect it, and the creatures who live in it, such as moi. So I hope you all have a wonderful Earth Day, but remember, every day is really Earth Day, because without a planet, we all really don't have anywhere to live now, do we? And that would be a problem. Anyway, did you miss the last episode of Bradshaw Live? Well, in case you did, Jonathan went to Queens and celebrated the Bangladeshi New Year, which in this year is 1426 in 2019, and it looked like a real blast. And now is the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for Bradshaw Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-host Belgium Kim. Enjoy, and happy Earth Day! Earth Day!
Welcome, everybody. It is Monday, April 22nd. Kim just whispered in my ear, and I completely forgot the day. Welcome, Belgium Kim.
Thank you.
Hello. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias is not here. I got a telephone call from him because of the glorious rainy day that we have. He got stuck commuting back from wherever he may have been.
His Dallas, I believe
he was in. So his plane got delayed, so no Yo-Yo today, but he will be back tomorrow. It is a glorious day, although rainy outside, very sunny in here. I got dressed up for today.
You did?
Yeah, I'm usually in a sweater.
Why are you in a
I don't
suit?
know. I don't. Well, it was holiday weekend,
Right.
and I wore a suit all weekend because it was like fancy family dinners and everything. And I'm like,
Right.
and everyone's complimenting me, and they were saying, "You look good.
Right.
Why don't you wear that more often?" And I said, "Maybe I should."
So you're
just
taking
did it.
Sunday best into the whole week.
That is correct. That is
okay.
correct.
Okay.
And it was a bad weekend for me, though, for the
Why?
Brad Challenge.
Oh
It's a
no.
very bad weekend for me.
Oh no.
I have some bad news to report.
Tell me.
I was challenged this weekend.
You were challenged?
Yes, sitting at 3 family dinners in a row. Okay, and everybody's eating like everything under the sun, short of a pizza.
What are you expected to do, Brad?
I mean, it was a holiday weekend.
Right.
So when we get to the Brad Challenge, it will not be a pleasant number.
Oh no.
But I will be back on the wagon today.
Yeah?
I will be back on the wagon today.
What meals have you had today, Brad?
Today, I
Yeah.
had eggs for breakfast.
Okay, good.
I had a Naruto roll for lunch.
Delicious.
And coffee.
Okay.
So I'm back on the wagon
We're
now.
solidly back on the wagon.
Now, I was told, before
Yeah.
I get into the hello,
Yeah.
I was told by somebody who cares very deeply about me that I need to work out as well as lose weight. Other than that, I will shrivel up to nothing.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to be shriveled.
You're starting to put a lot of pressure
So
on
now
yourself.
I got to go to the gym as well. Maybe we'll do the show from the gym one day, Belgium. Can we and you?
I will be throwing to you in the gym. Someone's got to hold it down in the studio, and I'll be happy to volunteer as that human, Brad.
All right. Well, I was going to say hello to the squad, but since we're talking about it, let's go because I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm really embarrassed about it.
Aww.
I went up in weight this weekend, and I was I'm very embarrassed, but I will hit my goal weight
Okay.
of 162 in 6 weeks.
Yes, you will.
Right, or I'm not Uncle Brad.
Or you're not Uncle Brad.
I will do it. But as of today, I gained, let's go to the Brad Challenge. Sadly enough.
Oh no.
I was supposed to get down to 162 pounds.
Right?
I started at 180. I made it to 177 in under a week.
Yeah.
But as of this morning, I weigh a disgusting 170. Oh, they were very nice. It's not 177. They were very nice. It's supposed to be 179.
Oh, we went
But
up
I guess Party Rock.
Yeah.
Party Rock is trying to protect me. He's like, I came into
Got your
Party
back.
Rock and I said 179, and he just said to me, "Say it ain't so."
Say it, don't do it.
He said,
Don't
"Say
do
it ain't so."
Now, get you some people on your team that will lie for you like that.
Party Rock is lying
That
for
is
me, but I gotta be honest. But I was 179, but I'm gonna get back to it. Let's say hello to the squad in the meantime, Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, before we say that, I do have to say that there are participants in the Brad Challenge. I wonder how they did.
Yeah.
I wonder how they did on this Easter Passover weekend of stuffing your face with every possible food that your aunt, uncle, sister can possibly make. And then when it gets passed around and you say, "No, I'm on a diet," and everyone says, "There's no diet
come
on a
on."
holiday.
Right.
It's a holiday."
Right.
So I'm like, "All right, fine,
Get
I'll take a
shamed.
bite." And then 1 bite leads to 2.
Of course.
2 leads to 4.
Of course.
Next thing you know, you weigh 2 pounds heavier after
After
morning.
a single weekend.
Exactly. But meanwhile, I wonder how the other participants did.
Well, they were too ashamed to message me and let me know.
Yeah,
Let me tell
I'm
you,
sure
Brad.
they were right with me there. Marge Higgs, Tamika Nelson, Cordella Douglas, Kerry Ann Wallace, Angela Barrett, Cece Mitchell, Tanisha Walker, Kennedy Roy, Jessica Leamy, Princess Black, Rococo Chocolat, who came and visited us today. We met Rococo Chocolat.
Yes, we
She was in the
did.
neighborhood. Carlos Estrella, Rude Boy, Danette Gray Downer, Adkar Rama Talov, Duchess May, Rodrigo Silva, Lisa Bling Rose. Let us know how you did on this holiday.
Yeah, cop to it. If Brad's copping to his
I
2
cop
pound
to
weight
it.
loss,
I cop
weight
to it.
gain.
And meanwhile, let's say hello to the squad. For those who we haven't said hello to, Mia Montauk saying hello. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, how you doing? Lisa Bling Rose says, "Hi, everyone. One happy Easter weekend." She forgot to say one happy fat Easter weekend.
That's true.
Right? Rupi Antoine, how are you? Zane Superman Gooden, Jessica Leamy says, "Squad up, my loves." Akiba Walters has 2 questions, but she doesn't want to ask them online. Can someone message me? Do you want to message her, and then we can ask it?
Of course.
We'll ask it. We'll just say it's John.
We can ask it anonymously.
Okay,
or
but now I just told everyone that Akiba's John. So just come up with a different name.
not
Right.
John.
Correct.
I also want to shout out Anna K. Moxham, who has a really good reason not to participate in the Brad Challenge. She said, "Sorry, I can't participate. I'm a pastry chef."
Yeah, I would put her out of business, right? This Brad Challenge is putting her out of business.
That is one of the only acceptable excuses to
right.
not participate in the Brad
Exactly.
Challenge.
Leslie wants more. Sophia Gray, how are you? Dembasau. Who else we have here? Patrona Collins says, Happy Easter Monday to Uncle Brad and the squad and the family. Levon D. Tucker. I saw a wonderful show. I was expecting Levon D. Tucker to be in it. She wasn't.
Aww.
I just love, for those who don't know, I don't know who Levon D. Tucker is. Maybe I've met her and I don't know. I only know her from our show.
Right,
But it just sounds like such a Broadway actress name.
It does.
Right? And,
It does.
And the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical goes to Levon D. Tucker.
And I was actually, she followed me on Instagram, Brad, and I was very honored. And she did exactly what we said. She slid up in the DMs and was like, just so you know, it's Levon D. Tucker. She knew exactly. I felt honored. I was like, yes, queen.
So I saw Kim. I saw a great musical. It was really funny this weekend. Tootsie. I highly recommend it.
I really want to go see it.
Who else? Tracy Haynes, how are you? And anybody else? Myrtle Ray. Squat up, everyone. Have we seen Myrtle Ray in a while?
We haven't seen her.
I haven't seen her name in a long time. Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. And
Belgium Mom is in there.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Belgium Mom. How are you? Kimberly Felix Aluwu.
Ooh, a new Kimberly.
New person. Hello, Uncle Brad.
Is it a Kimberly trying to steal my Kimberly crown?
I don't know. Somebody
no?
has to check who out. I can't even speak anymore. Check her out and see who she
out.
is. Wow. Cece Mitchell, how are you? And Lowe's Moore, that's Belgium Mom.
Belgium Mom in the house.
And Willie L. Williams. Remember, Brad, the muscle weight is more than fat. Willie L. Williams, thanks for telling everybody. That was going to be my excuse when I didn't hit 162. That I put on all this muscle. Well, but now he's called me out on it.
Well, no, I think he's saying that you put on all this muscle over the weekend. You put 2 pounds of muscle on over the weekend, Brad.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Wow. I tried to throw you a bone there, Brad.
Thank you very much.
I tried.
On YouTube at Jalove, Paula Shaw, how are you? Khurshid, if I could get his name right, Tasha Kojayev. I think I got his name right.
Nice, not bad.
James Harrod says, this is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, of all time.
All time.
I don't know how old James is.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to hope he's an old dude and he's been watching TV for a long time.
Sure.
And he's not like 6 years old or something, right?
Honestly, we live in the golden age of television. He could have been born in the last 10 years and we're still better than way better. A ton of great television.
You know what I watched last night?
Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay.
Why would I watch Game of Thrones like everybody else is?
Right.
I watched a rerun of The Love Boat.
No, you didn't.
I love The Love Boat.
That's
yes, John Ritter and Jacqueline Smith was on.
And Charo?
No, Charo was not on. On last night's show, it was John Ritter.
Right, yeah.
John Ritter and Jacqueline Smith. Remember John Ritter from Three's Company?
I do know John Ritter.
And Jacqueline Smith was one of the Charlie's Angels.
Oh, I did not. I did not. That's fantastic.
James Harris, I love it. It's just so enjoyable to watch. James Harris, how are you?
We're definitely better than The Love Boat.
Clive Stewart. Rodrigo Silva, Agsar Khan. A lot of new viewers on YouTube. Overcoming, Navneet Singh, and who else? That's all I see.
Danny
Princess
Contreras.
Black. So, Belgium Kim, before we get into our schmooze, why don't you tell everybody? Oh, before I tell you to tell everybody.
Yeah, before.
We have a new segment.
A new segment.
On Bradshaw Live. It's Getting to Know the Brad Squad.
Yes.
And today we're going to get to know Abigail Taylor Watson. Belgium Kim is going to tell us all about Abigail Taylor Watson. Belgium Kim.
The wonderful Abigail Taylor Watson sent us that pic rocking her Bradshaw Live shirt. She also reposted that picture just a couple of days ago, even though she sent it to us several months ago. She lives in Boston and is married with her adorable son, Aiden. As a matter of fact, she wasn't even pregnant yet when she started watching the show. But that's him. He participated in our Halloween costume contest and was obviously one of the winners because look at him. He is now 19 months old. Abigail loves the spring and summertime, so she is feeling it right now. And she loves spending time with her family and giving that little baby.
That's nice. I like to get to know the Brad Squad because I don't know them, other than through their some of them I do know because they come and visit.
Right.
But I would say a majority I don't know other than through their comments and the little that we learn through their comments. So I'm glad every day we're going to learn about somebody new in the Brad Squad.
Yeah, we are.
Just send Kim a message about you and a few pictures and we'll feature you.
That's exactly what Abigail did today.
Right?
You guys.
So how do they send you
You guys can send me a message at Belgium Kim TV on Facebook, or you can slide into our Bradshaw Live DMs at Bradshaw Live or at Spar Bernstein. I will get them everywhere. Just send us a little blurb about you and a few pictures from your life.
All right. So Belgium Kim, why don't you tell everybody what to do while I stretch and get ready for a little schmoozing?
Okay, Brad, absolutely. On Facebook, we need you guys to share, just like on YouTube. But on Facebook, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to hit that share button, and you're going to share it into people's inboxes. You're going to share it as a private message in groups that you're a member of, and as a private message to individual people, letting them know where they can get free immigration advice right now, right here. You can also start a watch party. You start that by doing share and start a watch party. You'll be able to start your very own watch party with your very own comment thread with all of your friends, and all of your friends are going to get a notification of what you are watching and to come join you in the fun right now. We also want to make sure that whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you are commenting and letting us know exactly what you think and feel about everything that we are talking about. On YouTube, you guys need to make sure to hit that share button and copy that link as well and send it into WhatsApp, text messages, whatever carrier pigeon, smoke signal you use, you let them know that that's the link to watch Bradshaw Live, and make sure to like and subscribe, just how that little graphic is showing you by hitting subscribe and that little bell both on Facebook and on YouTube to make sure that you don't miss a single time we go live. And now is the time you have all been waiting for, because it's Earth Day. There's tons of stuff happening in the news, because you're about to find out about all of it in Schmoozing with Brad.
Oh, a new schmoozing! Oh, party rock! Way to go! He's now putting me on a timer because I've been told the schmoozing's going way too long.
That's true. Did you see that clock?
Yeah, you have like 5 minutes to get all the news out. Meanwhile, it is Earth Day. It started in the 1960s. It's now a global event. More than 1 billion people in 192 countries. 1 billion people are taking part in Earth Day?
Yeah.
How does 1 billion people take part in Earth Day? Do you know or
keep on reading?
Okay, the first Earth Day was on April 22nd, 1970. It activated 20 million Americans from all walks of life and is widely credited with launching the modern environmental movement.
Yeah.
Because of Earth Day, people say that the landmark Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, Endangered Species Act, and many other environmental laws in the United States were passed, which were followed by the rest of the world. Unfortunately, we have a president right now. I wonder how he's celebrating Earth Day, if at all, if he even commemorated it or even tweeted about it. I'm just curious because he has rolled back a lot of the environmental laws.
Yeah.
He is very pro-coal, very pro-drilling, doesn't really care. We saw the butterfly are going to go extinct by making the wall. He doesn't seem to care about that.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care much about the environment. He pulled out
Not
the
at all.
Paris Accords. This year, the theme for Earth Day is called Protect Our Species, and it states that all living things have an intrinsic value, and each plays a unique role in the complex web of life. We must work together to protect endangered and threatened species, bees, coral reefs, elephants, giraffes, insects, whales, and more. As a matter of fact, I just read that, the 10 places to go visit now before you won't be able to see them.
Yeah.
One is Venice. They say Venice is sinking. It's really not sinking. It's the
water's rising,
going up.
right?
But the number 2 behind Venice, I just read this, is the Great Barrier Reef in Australia is going to disappear because of climate change.
Yeah.
And it's not really global warming, it's climate change. Some places are getting warmer, some places are getting colder.
Right.
But overall, the Earth is getting warmer.
Yes, absolutely. And about the Trump statement, Donald Trump issued on Monday on Earth Day proclamation that omitted any mention of climate change or the cavalcade of environmental threats posed by deforestation, species loss, and plastic pollution. The president chose instead to praise the benefits of a strong market economy.
Yeah, well, why would he? How old is the man?
40.
Trump is what, 70-something years old?
Trump is 70, right?
Yeah, 70 or 70. Why would he? He's going to be dead in 15 years. He says, screw it.
Right, 100%. He's 72 years old.
Who cares about the rest of us? Meanwhile, unfortunately, in Sri Lanka, it was a very sad Easter Sunday in Sri Lanka.
Yes, it was.
More than 290 people died, included several Americans. At least 27 foreigners were dead in Colombo, which is the capital of Sri Lanka. There were 7 suicide bombs. They were coordinated between 5-star luxury hotels and Catholic churches where people were celebrating the Easter holiday. Among those were from the United States, the United Kingdom, Britain, China, Japan, Portugal. It was the deadliest violence in Sri Lanka since the country's bloody civil war ended a decade ago. The island nation of about 21 million people. It's off the tip of India, if people don't know where it is, is relatively peaceful since the war ended, although there are various factions continuing to jostle for power. The majority of the Sri Lankans are Buddhists. The minority are Hindus, and there's even a smaller minority of Muslims and Christians. And the Christians targeted in Sunday's attack have a lower profile in Sri Lanka than most others. The Pope Francis, weighed in on the massacre. He said, I want to express my loving closeness to the Christian community, targeted while they were gathered in prayer, and all the victims of such cruel violence. I entrust to the Lord all those who were tragically killed and pray for the injured and all those who are suffering as a result of this dramatic event. President Trump also tweeted his condolences. Of course, he did it on Twitter. He started to say that the explosions killed 138 million people. That obviously was a little inaccurate.
Right.
He took that tweet down, and then he stated a new tweet, which I don't have, but he pledged to help the Sri Lankans and did tweet the accurate number of fatalities. I didn't realize Sri Lanka had a problem. I was actually, if anybody follows me on Instagram, you would have seen my pictures from Thailand with the tiger. I was very close to going to Sri Lanka over Thailand. I was kind of like debating, and I had no idea that Sri Lanka even had, a problem.
So much unrest.
Yeah, I had no idea. So when I said Sri Lanka, who knew? I didn't know.
Who would have thunk it?
I would never have thunk it. And I read that there was an American who died. He was featured in the New York Post. I forgot his name, but seemed like a very nice man.
Yeah.
3 children of the richest man from Denmark died at a hotel. There was a student who went to the same school as Malia and Sasha Melina Obama, who died in the bombings as well. So it was really, even though it was in Sri Lanka and a majority of Sri Lankans died, it was unfortunately an international incident because so many people died from so many different countries.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I don't know. I read that they caught some people, but I don't know for sure. I only read it in some news outlets. I didn't read them in all the news outlets, so I don't know if that is true or not, that the perpetrators have been caught. I did read it in, I know the Sri Lankans did say that they caught people. I don't know if these are the people who masterminded it or maybe assisted in it. I also do know that as part of the backlash against the Sri Lankan government for not doing more about protecting people in Sri Lanka, that the Sri Lankan police knew about a potential terrorist threat on Easter Sunday, and people are saying maybe they could have done a little more about it.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
Yes, but it is very sad. Rest in peace, everybody. None of those people deserve to die. You certainly don't deserve to die at all.
Right.
Certainly not on Easter, certainly not while praying, certainly not while on a vacation.
Right.
Certainly not when you're a child. Nobody.
Nobody.
Meanwhile, last week I had a premonition, and it came through, Belgium Kim.
Oh, no.
Yes, I said that, if you remember, we were talking about Notre Dame and the fire, and there was about $1 billion that was donated to restore Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That one billionaire from France donated $100 million, not to be outdone by the second billionaire who donated $200 million.
Right.
You were aware of their names. You were able to pronounce their names very well in French, which I'm unable to do.
Right.
And I said, well, you know, a lot of people with the Yellow Vest movement, they were protesting the rise in gasoline. And remember, we had that discussion. You said, well, you know, why should they pay any taxes?
Right.
And, you know, how do you protect the carbon footprint? Remember that?
Right,
and I said, and the big issue is going to be is how does France have $1 billion to fix Notre Dame?
Yeah.
But for 5 months, while people were protesting the rise in the carbon tax that was hitting the middle class and the poor a lot more than the rich, why didn't anybody come to their rescue?
Right.
And on Sunday, the Yellow Vest protesters in Paris battled police. It was violent in Paris on Sunday, and they were enraged that more than $1 billion have been pledged to rebuild fire-damaged Notre Dame Cathedral, overshadowing their anti-wealth cause. The protesters were frustrated that the international effort to help Notre Dame has drawn more attention than their 5-month-old Yellow Vest movement against wealth inequality. Many protesters were deeply saddened by the fire at the National Monument. Nobody's protesting that. But many are angry at the $1 billion in Notre Dame donations that poured in from tycoons, while their own demands to be able to have an offset on the carbon tax went unmet.
Right.
Authorities deployed over 5,000 police around Paris. I talked about it last week.
Yep.
I think my premonition was a little bit right.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, apparently a comedian won a landslide election in Ukraine. He actually was a sitcom television star, and the sitcom was that he was playing a parody of a president.
No.
That was the sitcom. And then he decided that he's actually going to run for president. And this guy won, Volodymyr Zelensky. Nobody knows what he's actually going to do because he was a comedian.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he had a show. In the show, Servant of the People, Zelensky's television character became president after an expletive-laden video of him ranting about corruption went viral. And the video said, "Who's there to vote for? It's always a lesser of two assholes, and it's been this way for 25 years. If I could just have 1 week in office, if at all possible, I would show them." Well, he certainly did show them because he won 73% of the vote.
Oh,
yeah,
73%?
in a landslide.
Oh, no.
The incumbent president received less than 25%, Belgium Kim. So now in Ukraine, they have a comedian as the president, not to be outdone by the United States, who has a clown as the president.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Meanwhile, tomorrow in the Supreme Court, we talked about this before, and this is really important on how we're going to be ruled and how the government is going to be ruled for the next at least 10 years.
Right, yeah.
There is a question in the census, and that question is, are you a United States citizen?
Yeah.
And many people, including myself, believe that at this day and time, to have that question in the census doesn't help count the people in America, and is actually going to dissuade a lot of minorities, newly minted Americans,
yes,
people who are permanent residents, people who are here on visas maybe legally, from following the census.
Yep.
They may not want to fill out that census, scared that oh, I don't want to tell them if I'm a citizen or not. I don't want to tell them if I'm a green card holder or not. Or maybe I'm a citizen, but you know what? They're asking me immigration questions. I'm a citizen, but I have a non-citizen in my house. I don't want anyone knocking on my door.
Right.
There could be a lot of reasons why
Yeah.
you would be scared as a citizen to answer that question. Now, this is the problem. Now that person who's scared to answer that question doesn't get counted in the census.
Yeah.
Why is that important? Because the census determines the electoral college, how many votes each state gets. The census determines how many congressmen each state gets. And it also determines when Congress makes a block grant of money, how to proportion that money through the states. For example, if Congress says, I'm making this up, we're going to give $1 billion to transportation to be given out, you know, proportionally to the states.
Right.
It's going to be done proportionally based on the census, based on how many people live in each state.
Got it.
So ultimately what's going to happen is that question was used, or my belief was put in to make people who are minorities, people who are first generation Americans, scared or a little less scared to fill it out and complete it.
Yeah.
And what does that do? It plays into the Republicans' hands. It makes the states that are more white, more, I don't want to say American, but more generationally American, meaning that 4, 5, 6 generations of Americans, you were born here, versus newly minted American. It's going to put money from the government to the Republican states. It's going to give more congressmen to the Republican states.
Yep.
And it's ultimately going to change the electoral college to favor people like Trump, who are going to feed into, this white, fear that immigrants and minorities are kind of taking over the country.
Yeah.
And I believe it was put in there for that particular reason, just like Republicans in Republican states gerrymander the districts,
Right,
So they
absolutely.
so they can keep Republican stranglehold on that.
Yeah.
And the only way to avoid the gerrymandering for the Republicans is to have Democrats win. Until then, it always goes and gets gerrymandered.
Right.
So now this question on the census is now going to be debated at the Supreme Court tomorrow.
Wow.
And the Supreme Court is going to come out with a decision at the end of June.
Wow.
So we will see what happens
We'll
there. Meanwhile, bad news for George Zimmerman
Okay.
and his love life.
George Zimmerman
Tinder,
has a love
remember
life?
him? He was
Yeah.
he was the stand your ground guy who
Yeah,
shot
he killed Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin.
Right.
Most people, including ourselves, feel he got off.
Obviously.
Trayvon Martin, as we know, wasn't doing anything. And he had a bag of Skittles, I believe, in
he
his
was
hand.
an Arizona peach tea,
Yes.
a bag of Skittles, and a
Right,
hoodie.
and he got shot by George Zimmerman. But unfortunately for George Zimmerman, he tried to go on Tinder to find some dates, and Tinder has banned him. Without saying specifically why Zimmerman was removed, the spokesperson said the company spends millions of dollars annually to prevent, monitor, and remove bad actors who have violated our community guidelines and terms of use from our app. So at least congratulations to Tinder. At least, was that his picture?
Yes.
Oh my
Such
God.
a douchey
He
picture.
looks like such a douchebag, right?
I'm looking for carefree fun. I love the outdoors, fishing, camping, and hiking. I love adventure, not into huge crowds. I'm also down for a quiet night with Longhorn takeout.
Yeah, I'm also down into like shooting people if you want to come join me.
That is the most basic, lame, terrible.
So what a douchebag, but congratulations to Tinder
For taking it
for
down.
taking him down.
Thank God.
Yes. Tinder doesn't get a lot of respect.
No.
Right? I mean, Tinder's always the butt of everybody's joke.
That's true.
But in this particular case, congratulations to Tinder. Meanwhile, I actually believe, do you believe that lobsters feel pain when they're boiled? I believe they do,
I do.
too.
Because they can scream. Like
Yeah.
when you put a lobster in boiling water, there's a hiss. There's like a loud scream.
Yeah, I believe lobsters feel pain. It actually makes me feel sad to eat a lobster until I eat it, and then I forget, which is really bad of me.
A little garlic butter will make you forget anything,
Yeah, it does
Brad.
forget. Well, yes, I like to eat. But I feel bad when I actually watch them.
Right, yeah, I get that.
I really do.
I get that.
So Charlotte Gill, who owns a Charlotte Legendary Lobster Pound in Southwest Harbor, Maine, has come up with a bit of a solution for people who feel bad like myself. She is now getting the lobsters high on weed before boiling them, so she feels that they'll have less pain. She believes that if she puts the lobster in pot-laced water, it would sedate the lobsters so that their deaths are not as traumatic.
Girl.
She said, I feel bad that when these lobsters come here, there's no exit strategy. It's a unique place and you get to do such unique things, but at the expense of this little creature, I've really been trying to figure out how to make it better. And this is probably as good a time as any to point out that Gil hasn't said she used any scientific evidence to back up her claim.
Of course,
I have no idea. I have no
What?
idea if lobsters feel pain after getting high. But it was just her observation that, you know, if they get baked, maybe they won't feel as badly when they get baked.
Yeah, baked. Can you bake a lobster?
Yeah.
You can bake a baked lobster.
You know, that's kind of like the theory behind, if anybody, wants to know, I mean, eating kosher food.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why you eat kosher food in the Jewish religion, but one of the things about eating kosher food is that whatever animal you kill has to be killed in the most humane, no, I'm serious.
Yeah, right.
Painless way.
Right.
And if you don't kill an animal in a humane, painless way, it's not kosher.
Well, and my giggle only comes from the visual of us putting a bunch of beef into a room and hotboxing these cows in this room.
Get them high?
Cheech and Chong style with all these cows, and then we can go and proceed to make the burger.
It's just the whole
she's
thing.
onto something.
You know what? The whole thing. If I actually had to watch an animal die,
right,
it
would put you off me.
Right. It's like when I have a fish in a restaurant.
Yeah.
I ask that the fish come with no head and no tail, because I don't want to know it was a fish.
I agree. Don't serve me that looks like a fish but it's cooked underneath thing. No. I don't want to have to see it. But if weed smoke could in fact reduce their pain, would you be pro hotboxing of animals?
I would be pro, but there's no scientific evidence to this.
None.
And she's getting a little, and Gil here is getting a little
Flack?
pushback, a little
Right.
flack, I guess is the word,
Right.
on Facebook. People are wondering on Facebook, and I wonder what the squad thinks.
Right, yeah.
Because everyone loves lobster, right?
Man, I gotta be real. We have a lot of environmentalists, but a lot of them are like, lobster's so good.
Exactly. But that's what I feel. I feel so
vegetarians,
bad,
but-
and then I'm like, well, I eat it. I'm like, but it's so good.
Right, that's literally Beverly Robinson King said, pain or not, I really love to eat lobster. Sorry.
But she's getting a little flack on Facebook. Because people are wondering why she's running a lobster restaurant if she's so worried about how the lobsters feel when they kill her.
Well, and that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. If you are really worried about lobster well-being, maybe don't open a lobster spot.
I don't know. I
feel like that's a fair point.
I don't know. Meanwhile, I'll tell you one last thing I know about lobsters.
Oh my God,
Maybe you don't know this.
Okay.
In the Middle Ages, lobsters was not, now it's expensive to buy a lobster.
Right,
It's
yeah.
considered a delicacy. And,
fancy.
It's a fancy thing to eat.
Right.
But in the Middle Ages, it was like for all the poor people. Like the kings and queens and princesses, they would never eat a lobster. It was considered like a cockroach, and and it was a delicacy of poor people. It wasn't a delicacy for like a fancy meal in the Middle Ages.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It does look like a really big sea cockroach. I will
Yes.
give
But
them that.
But it is a cockroach.
It's
It's
delicious.
a sea cockroach.
Yeah, crustacean.
It certainly is. All right, and finally, let's see what this card says. She went to the hospital for an infection, Kim, and doctors found 4 bees living in her eye.
I'm so sorry for bees.
4 bees. Bees. B-E-E-S. A 29-year-old Taiwanese woman.
Not bees.
Identified by her name as he, even though she's a woman.
Right.
Identified as he.
Right.
Had no idea why her eye was swollen shut. She was in unbearable pain. She could not stop crying. She was confused. But when he, who is a she, went for treatment at Fuyan University Hospital in Taiwan,
Right.
doctors did not find a bacterial infection. She went for an antibiotic.
Right.
While looking at he's eyes, who is a she, through a microscope, the hospital's head of ophthalmology witnessed insect legs were wiggling from one of her eye sockets.
Oh,
He yanked out a small bee. It's called a sweet bee or a halcate, a sweat bee or a halcate. It was alive. It was living in her eye, and they extracted 4 of them. Craving salt, the bees were feeding off her tears and making her cry and giving her lots of pain. The doctor suspects the bees got into he's eyes, who's a she, as she was taking part in the Qingming Festival, also known as Tomb Sweeping Day. He, who's a she,
Right.
Said that she was visiting and tidying a relative's grave with her family, squatting down, pulling out the weeds, and something went into her eye.
My God.
Yes.
I'm not okay.
Yeah, Matan Shalomi, an associate professor of entomology at National Taiwan University, told the Washington Post that in addition to needing pollen and nectar like other bees, sweat bees will occasionally need salt to supplement their diet. So he, who is a she, was discharged and is expected to make a full recovery, but that is really, really gross. Gives me the heebie-beegies, the BG-heebies.
The BG.
The BGs. What is it? What do you get?
The heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies. That gives me the heebie-beegies. I can't say it right. What did you get?
Heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies.
Are you really doing it on purpose that
I
you don't
really
know how to
am.
say
It is the heebie-jeebies, yes. Gives me the heebie-jeebies, Kim.
I will say from our comments, we got 2 questions that have been asked that I need to relay, and I need your answers, Brad. Marsha McCullough, how can she not know there's a bee in her eye?
You know
Thank
what?
you, Marsha.
Marsha, that question
Yes.
that question has not been just asked by you, but
No.
many people have heard that story.
No, 100%.
Yes.
And when we talked about Lobster, Groundhog Sam jumped in and he said that he was really happy that people don't eat groundhog.
Yes.
To which Willie Williams said, never tried groundhog yet, with all caps.
Hey, Groundhog Sam, watch out. Don't get near Willie L. Williams.
No.
Right? All right, Belgium Kid, we're going to get into answering our immigration questions, but before we do that, please tell everybody how to share, how to like, and how to love us.
Okay.
Is there a love us?
There is a love us.
Okay.
And you guys are going to be able to do it all. And I'm going to tell you in just 10 seconds how to do it. First, on YouTube and on Facebook, I want all of you to hit that share button. On Facebook, you guys are going to see a little drop-down menu, and you're going to share it into friends' inboxes, into groups that you're a member of, and you're going to start a watch party. So all of your friends get notifications when we are live right this second. Second, on YouTube, when you guys hit that share button, you're going to copy the link and you're going to share it into group messages that you are a member of, whether that's text messages, Textra, GroupMe, however you do it, you let all of your people know where to watch the show. And on YouTube, you guys are going to subscribe and hit that little bell just like in that graphic so that you know exactly when we go live every single day, because it's not always at exactly 5:30 on the dot. And on Facebook, you guys are going to do the exact same thing. Make sure to hit that like and that little bell so that you know when we're live.
And by the way, Belgium Kim, before you come back to me, our statistician, Marge Higgs, our unpaid statistician,
completely volunteer statistician,
completely voluntary employee of the Brad Show Live, says there's 56 shares so far. We want to get to over 200 today. What do you think?
I feel really good about that, Brad.
All right. Keep going.
I feel good. And the last thing that you guys need to do to help us get to those 200 shares is, guys, tell us how you think and feel about what you're hearing and seeing. You press that like button, you press that heart, that laugh, that oh my God, that sadness, the angry face, if it's necessary. Absolutely make sure to interact with us and make sure to tell us everything you think and feel in those comments. If a caller is being crazy, tell us. If you totally agree, tell us. If you disagree with everything they've done, tell us in the comments. And now the time you've all been waiting for, it's time to get to some answers when we are getting answers to your immigration questions.
You got it right, Belgium Kim. We've been getting it right a lot. All right, so our lines are open. Give us a call. I'm going to be answering your immigration questions. Let's go to Tony in Baltimore, Maryland. Tony, how are you?
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on, Tony?
I'm good. I want to ask a question. Last week, I went and my husband went on a green card.
Tony, talk into your phone or off speaker because I have trouble hearing you.
Last week, I went for my green card interview, me and my husband.
Uh-huh.
Green card was approved. They say one more time they will be sending it. So my question is, right now my husband is in jail because we have an argument and he pulled a gun.
Who's in
trying
jail?
to shoot
Who's in jail?
my husband.
After you got approved, and he's in.
Yeah, after I got approved, yeah.
Okay, and you had an argument. He pulled a gun on you.
Yeah, trying to kill me and his
Oh
son,
my
and I
God.
called the cops.
Oh my God.
So the cops came and they
Right.
locked him up.
Okay.
So when I was doing the paperwork, I had two daughters in Jamaica that he also did the paperwork for. They were approved in last year, October. Their papers in Kingston at Visa Center. So I was wondering if the fact that he's in jail and then I don't think I want to be with him again.
I don't think you'd want to be with him either.
So I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem for the girls' paper.
I think it may be, unfortunately, because he has to complete the case. Did he complete all the documentation?
Yes. The only
He
thing
did.
that
He did all the affidavits of support and everything.
Yeah, he didn't make enough to do the affidavit of support, so I got somebody
Yeah.
to do
Okay.
it.
He has to sign an affidavit of support. If he doesn't, then you're going to have to turn around and file for the children again, unfortunately.
So he couldn't do the affidavit of support because he didn't make enough.
If you get him in jail to sign it, sure, he can do it.
So, but what I'm saying, does he have to still sign affidavit
Yes.
of support even though he cannot, his paycheck wasn't enough to do it?
Yes.
You still have to do it with
Yes.
whichever I get.
Yeah, and there's nothing really, unfortunately, in the law that says that because he abused you, if you didn't get your green card as a VAWA, that the children who were not abused can. And unfortunately, you can't do it that way because people are probably saying, well, why can't the kids do a VAWA? Well, you didn't get your green card through a VAWA, and the kids are basically following to join you. And you would really need to have someone go to the jail and just have them sign an affidavit of support, even if he earned no money, even if he submitted no tax return. And then that's all you would need from him for the kids to come.
Okay, I got that.
All right. Now you don't do
Okay,
it, but
so-
maybe someone else can if he's
Right.
willing to do it. But I don't know. He may not be willing to do it, and certainly it's not
Right.
worth staying with the man because he almost tried to kill you. So worse
Yeah.
comes to worse, unfortunately, and it's sad. But under the law, you would have to turn around and file for your kids again if you won't do it, and they'll have to wait about 2.5 years.
Okay.
So I
All
hope
right.
that's not
So
the case.
next question, because I got only a 2-year green card, they said, so I will be maybe able to file for VAWA. When do you think I want to go
No,
ahead
you're not.
and
You're not
file
going
for
to.
VAWA?
You're not going to file for VAWA. You're going to leave your husband, and when you time to remove the conditions, you're going to file as an abused spouse and say, "Here's the case where he tried to pull a gun and kill me. I don't know what more you can actually prove to say you're abused than that."
Okay, I
So
got
you'll
that.
be fine.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
All right. And if you need help, hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. All right. Starting off with a tough one there. All right.
Yeah.
Who should we go to? I guess Muhammad in Brooklyn. Muhammad, how are you?
What's up, man?
Muhammad, what's going on?
Hello?
How are you?
Hello?
Muhammad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. What's going on?
I just, I have a question for you, man.
Okay.
I got arrested with an airsoft gun.
With an air gun or an assault gun? Those are two different
Yeah,
things.
airsoft. You know, yeah, airsoft.
Airsoft?
No, not an assault gun.
What's an
Yeah,
airsoft? What's it like?
The one that
Like
was
a BB gun?
the gun that had pallets. No, the little ball pallets.
Okay, a little pellet gun. Okay, not an assault gun.
Yeah,
That's
there you
different.
go.
Not goes.
No,
Not one
assault
like
gun.
that. Right.
Nah,
Okay.
not one of that, man.
Okay. All right. So what?
Yeah.
All right. So you got arrested. What's your status? You have a green card. What's your story?
Yeah, I'm a green card holder.
Okay.
Since 2006.
And what
So,
what
I got that,
what did you plead guilty to something?
They tell me, they offer me a deal, a plea deal. They drop everything to a disorderly conduct, 1 year stay out of trouble.
Okay.
With a 2-year probation, 2-year order of protection.
1 second. And it's going to be a disorderly conduct or an ACD?
Yeah. Disorderly conduct.
Okay. If it's a disorderly conduct, you're fine.
Yeah, disorderly conduct, because I looked at it.
Okay. So this is the deal.
Right now,
This is the deal. Disorderly conduct's not deportable. You can travel with a disorderly conduct. You have an order of protection for 2 years, so obviously maybe there was some sort of allegation of a threat against somebody with this air gun. So now you have a 2-year order of protection. As far as citizenship is concerned, you can't do citizenship for at least 5 years from the end of that order of protection. So by taking this deal, you're not going to get deported. You're going to be able to travel. Everything is cool there. You're not losing your green card. You're just setting yourself back for citizenship for about 7 years.
Yeah. So the question is, the disorderly conduct right now is sealed. It's over with. The 2-year order of protection is over with. Because that was since 2016.
Okay. All right. So you have to count. Okay. This is what the law says for citizenship. You don't have any other arrest record, right?
No, I'm currently married to a U.S. citizen.
You're married to a U.S. citizen. Perfect. Okay. So because you're married to a U.S. citizen, as long as you can show it's a bona fide marriage, you need 3 years good moral character, not 5 years good moral character. Now, the order of protection was lifted in 2016. What month in 2016?
No, I got arrested in 2016.
When was the order of protection up?
The order of protection was up in 2018, September.
Okay, so unfortunately then you have to wait until September 2021, which is 3 years from the end of the order of protection, presuming you can prove it's a bona fide marriage between you and your spouse, and that's when you can do your citizenship.
So I could travel, everything is good?
As long as it's a if you're 100% certain it's a disorderly conduct, you can travel. You can't do your citizenship till 2021.
100%.
Enjoy your trip.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Let's go to Mohammed in Portland, Maine. Another Mohammed. Mohammed.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. I will ask you about. I have applied green card based on married, and my case status changed months later that we are ready to schedule an interview. Then in this month, in April 2nd, they say we scheduled an interview, and I didn't receive any notice yet.
Okay, so they will schedule an interview for you shortly. I'm sure you'll get it in the mail. I wouldn't overly.
How long? Because
how long will you be scheduled? I don't know. So if I understand correctly, what you said was that you got married, you filed paperwork, and you see online that they scheduled you for an interview. Okay, so
yeah.
I'm sure that in the next few days or a week or 10 days, you will get a notice for an interview. What immigration is doing now is they're doing very similar to what they're doing with asylum cases. People who are filing marriage cases now, certainly in New York, you're in Oregon, you're in Maine. I don't know how fast Maine is going off the top of my head, but I do see what's going on in New York. And people who are filing marriage cases are getting interviews in about 5 months before they even get their work permits. So what they're doing with the marriage cases is people who are filing now, they're scheduling immediately. People who filed last year are just going to wait and wait and wait. So it's not unusual now to file an adjustment and get a very, very fast interview, which means that you got to be ready for that interview when you file now. You don't have time to prepare in a year and a half, 2 years down the line. So if you did see online that they're going to schedule it, I would assume you will get something in the next few days or a week or 2 weeks. If you don't hear anything in about 2 weeks, then give us a call.
Look, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Let's go to Abigail in Detroit, Michigan. Abigail.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
So basically, I came here when I was 60, and my mama was a U.S. citizen. She got her citizen in 2009. I got here in 2011, and I came here at 16. So now they say I'm qualified for deriving citizen, so I can just pay the money and do the N-600 form and get my citizen in about 7 to 9 months. But the thing is, I'm going to need some stuff from my mama, like I guess her citizenship card or whatever, but she misplaced it. So I wonder if I can use her U.S. passport and do it as a proof of a U.S. citizen, or I don't know what to do.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay. Yeah, and you lived with her, right?
Well, I moved out now, but I came here when I was 16. I lived with her until I was 18.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so this is what you have to do. Submit a copy of her passport, say her naturalization papers lost, they'll look it up. Submit her tax returns for the years when you were 16 and 17 to show you were dependent on her tax return. That would show that you lived with her. Submit a school record if you choose to, show you lived with her, and your green card, and submit the N-600, that's fine. They'll look up her naturalization, whether she has it or not, don't worry.
Okay, so also I got one more question.
Say it one more time.
My cousin. My cousin, she want to know, like, if she try to get her citizenship paper and she's married, should she get her citizenship and change her name and put on the citizenship paper, or should she use her full name because she's trying to get the person here?
She can go with any name she wants on her citizenship paper. I would file with whatever's on her green card now. If she's married, submit that she's married. At the time of the interview, they're going to ask her, does she want to change her name? And at that point, she can change her name to her married name on her naturalization papers.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Hillary in Brooklyn. Hillary.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, my question is about a family member.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have all the dates.
Okay.
But I guess the felon was a drug charge and was deported back. Came to the United States legally and had a green card. It's been over 10 years now. Are there any chances that he could return back here?
What was the drug charge?
It was trafficking.
Trafficking? No.
And possession and sale. Possession and sale.
No. Sale of drugs, you're never coming back. Whether it was marijuana, cocaine,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry about that. Let's go to Prince in Rockville, Maryland. Prince. 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 All right, we'll come back to Prince. Let's go to Pate or Pete. Is it Pate or Pete in Irvington, New Jersey? Pate? Pate?
Hey, Pate.
Pate. How are you?
Hey, Brian.
What's up?
Yes. I have a question. So I filed my adjustments 3 months ago, and I'm still waiting for the combo card. But the problem is on my online status, there is any update. So I was wondering if because actually I have a job offer, and then I was wondering if I can call my senator to expedite the case. If that's not.
Your senator's not going to expedite anything. You can call, be my guest. Okay. He's not going to expedite anything because you don't vote for him. But they'll write a letter for you, and you'll just spin your wheels. You're going to wait 5 months, unfortunately, for the work permit.
All right. So is that not going to help?
No, not one bit. But it won't hurt you, so go do it.
Oh, okay. All right. That is it. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go to, I think we got Prince back now. Prince in Rockville, Maryland. Prince.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And you?
Good. What's going on?
Well, my wife and I, we filed a paperwork I-130 and 485 in 2016, and we were in North Carolina, and we moved to Maryland. So we got scheduled for an interview in 2017.
Where, in North Carolina?
And,
in North Carolina you got scheduled?
We got scheduled for an interview in Maryland because we did a change of address.
Okay.
Yeah, and 4 days after the interview, my wife passed away.
Aw.
And
so it would automatically convert to a widow petition.
Go ahead.
If your wife was a citizen and she passed away while your case was pending for an adjustment, your case would automatically convert to a widow petition.
It was in 2017, and since then, this is 2019. So when I called the first time, the agent told me it would take around 45 months. And the next time I called, they told me it was going to take 36 months. At this point, I just don't know what my options are right now because my EAD...
So down later today, I believe, I could be wrong, But later today, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I am wrong. But if you watch all of last week's episodes, we played something called Abadir Sues the Government about a mandamus action. First of all, your case converts to a widow petition, okay. Automatically. And under the rules of immigration, you should get an interview based on an adjustment application. You should have an interview within 12 months. If you don't have an interview within 12 months, immigration is violating your rights. So it's now almost 36 months, you still don't have an interview. What you need to do is file a mandamus action. And for those who don't know what a mandamus action is it's a lawsuit against the government to force them to do their job, which is schedule you in a period of time. I will tell you, I had somebody come in the end of February, and last week had a pending adjustment, no decision. And from the time they hired us to the time Abadir sued them, to the time she had a green card in her hand, she got her green card last week. So we talked about it on the air. So what was that? That was 5 weeks, 6 weeks from the time she said, here, start a case, to have a green card in your hand. That's how quick mandamuses are.
Okay.
So that's what you need to do. So hold on 1 second, okay?
All right.
Hold on, we'll help you.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Kiana in New York. Kiana.
Hello.
Hi, Kiana.
Hi, how are you?
Good, what's going on?
I don't want to take up much of your time, so I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. So I know someone who was born in Panama. They came to America at 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
At 17, they were like working. Someone tried to kill them, and his coworker, he shot them. That person died. He got charged with manslaughter.
Right.
He did 7 years. They offered him a plea. He was 17. He didn't really know the law. He took the plea. But in the plea, they did not mention he would be deported. A year before he was about to be released, they tell him, you're going to be deported. So,
what year was this?
This is like 2007, 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he felt like there was nothing he could do, so he did get deported. I did watch a video where you talked about getting like the case vacated.
Right.
If they never mentioned the deportation, I wanted to know, is it too late for him to do that?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, because he's out of the country now. Because certainly in New York State, and every state's different. I can tell you for sure in New York, there's something called standing, which is that you have to be physically in the state to actually file a motion to vacate. And the way that the state courts are looking at it now, I haven't done a video on vacating in a couple of years, so you're probably watching an old video, maybe that's probably 2 years old or 3 years old.
Yeah, I think it was like 2015.
Yeah, probably. So the way the states are doing it now is that prior to the Supreme Court decision, which was in 2011 or 2012, it's voluntary, meaning discretionary, whether or not a judge is going to reopen a case based on not being told that he was going to get deported, that he's an aggravated felony. If it's not told to you after 2011, I don't remember the exact date. The Supreme Court, it was 2011, 2012. Then it's a constitutional violation. So because it's 2007, it would be a discretionary decision on a judge, and unfortunately, we can't even make that motion because he's not in the country right now. Because you need standing, and he's not physically here.
So is there anything that he could do? Or
was his parents citizens before he was 18?
Were his parents what?
Were his parents citizens before he turned 18 years old?
Yes.
They were?
Yeah, his mother.
What about his father?
His father lives in Panama.
His mother was never married to his father?
No.
And he had a green card?
I know he said he had a resident card.
That's a green card. It's very possible they deported a citizen. How old is he?
He's 35.
It's very, very possible that they deported a citizen, and he would not be the first citizen to be deported. If his mom was never married to his dad, and he lived with his mom, and he had a green card, and mom was a citizen before 18, there is a strong, I'm almost 98% until I actually see all the documents. I never want to call somebody a citizen. Strong probability that he's a U.S. citizen. And if he's
but what if his mother didn't get the green card for him? Then he's not considered,
then he was
right?
illegal alien. He was out of status human being. You know, I hate to use the word illegal alien. He's an out of status human being. He got deported for being out of status. But if he had a green card and mom was a citizen, then he's a citizen and they deported a citizen. So I think we should be looking at that for sure.
Okay.
And then if in fact he was deported as a citizen, and he will not be the first person to be deported as a citizen. He will not be the first person to be deported as a citizen who was my client.
Right.
And it was only, they came to me after the fact. It wasn't that I was representing somebody and the citizen got deported. I just make it clear. It was they got deported and then we figured out they deported a citizen after they called us from another country. What we've done in the past is we've literally marched them into the U.S. Embassy and demanded a U.S. passport, and they've come back in weeks.
Wow. Because I know he just applied for a visa, but like because he has that manslaughter on his thing, like I don't know if the U.S. is.
No, he's not going to get a visa, but it's possible he's a citizen. So I think that's where we have to start looking at. So hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Let's go to Trina in West Palm Beach, Florida. Trina. Trina.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Trina.
Yes.
I have a daughter. She's 17. I came to the States with my husband and my B1, B2 visa.
Uh-huh.
And he decided that he won't be doing any filing for us. So what are the steps I should take?
Because he won't file for you? You're married to him?
Yes, I am married to him. We got married in Jamaica in 2017.
And he told you to come up on a visitor's visa and he would adjust your status when you came here. And now that you arrived, he doesn't want to do anything.
No, and our 6 months has been upped. So
you were what?
Our 6 months, because they gave us 6 months to stay in the country.
Right.
So our 6 months has expired.
Why is he not? The marriage just broke up. Are you arguing? Was there abuse? What's going on?
I'm having emotional and financial abuse with him. He wanted a child from me, but that was the agreement that we made when we were in Jamaica. So now when I came here and my 6 months has expired, he said to me that you have to give me a child first before I'm going to file for you. But I am going through a lot of emotional and financial abuse with him, so I decided I'm not going to give you a child. He went out, he got babies, got other kids outside of the marriage.
All right, so then let me make the suggestion to you. It's possible that you have an extreme emotional abuse case. That would be an option. The other option would be getting divorced and figuring out another way to get a green card. I think the first step is you're in Florida. We can do a phone consultation. We can kind of flush this out and see what's going on. So hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go to Colleen in Orlando, Florida. Colleen.
Hello.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
So in 2017, I filed the VAWA, and then in the same year, they sent me back for a police clearance letter in the state of Florida, which I sent to them. So this year now, about a week ago or so, they sent me to do biometrics, but they didn't send me a prima facie. But my question is, I didn't apply for a work permit. I only did the I-360, so why did they send me to do the biometrics, and why they only did my right index finger?
I don't know. Maybe your fingerprints didn't clear. You should have filed an I-45 so you got a work permit, for sure.
No, I just wanted to do the I-360 first, and then
the fact
go
that you
from
didn't
there.
get a prima facie is not a positive sign on your case. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get approved, but certainly I would expect an RFE, and then ultimately you're going to have to, whatever questions they may have, you're going to have to respond to that. I always believe
they didn't send back. Excuse me. They didn't. Oh, go ahead.
I always believe that you should file an adjustment with the I-360, so you should get a work permit. Other than that, you're waiting years and years for something that may or may not happen.
Yeah, because I'm waiting almost 2 years now, and the only evidence they send back to me
That's why I suggest always filing an I-45 with it.
So is it too late for me to file that one now?
No, you can still do it, but what I think we should do is before we start filing I-45s and adjustment applications for you, I think what we should do is take a look at what you've already submitted, and then figure out where to go from there. Let's kind of make an analysis of the strength of your case before we start filing an I-45. So hold on 1 second, all right? And you make an appointment. But you could always file, if you filed an I-360 and you're waiting a year, 18 months, 2 years, you could always attach a receipt notice to an I-45 and start the adjustment process to get a work permit. All right? So hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Mr. Singh in Los Angeles, California. Mr. Singh.
Yes, how are you?
How are you?
Hey, Brad, I just got my answer because you were telling to the Wawa.
Uh-huh.
And I just applied, my attorney has just applied for Y360. I didn't receive the work permit. Do I need to add I-45 or 765 now? Can I add it? I have a prima facie.
Yeah, do it.
We can add it now?
Yes, because there's two ways to get a work permit on a VAWA case. You can wait for the VAWA petition to be approved, which will take 2.5 years, and then you're sitting around with nothing. Or you can file a VAWA application with an adjustment and get your work permit in a few months.
Okay, now can I add it? I already filed a VAWA, so I have a prima facie. Now I can add it?
File an I-45 and the I-765 and an I-131. Follow all those instructions and
It's
attach
called advance parole. I can travel with this.
And attach the VAWA receipt notice and the prima facie receipt notice to it.
Okay, so do I need to do I need to give the payment again?
Well, you didn't give any payment yet. For an I-360 is free, but you're going to need to give $12.25 in filing fees for the I-45.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's go to Mike in the Bronx. Mike.
Hello?
Hey, Mike.
Yes. Good evening, Brad.
Good evening.
I have a question. So 3 years ago, I was stopped by the transit ticket enforcement, and then they gave me a ticket that I don't have a ticket, and then I end up in court, but I pleaded not guilty, and then I showed to the court the proof of my ticket, and then they suspended the case. Can they stop me from becoming a citizen?
Having a traffic ticket cannot stop you from becoming a citizen.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And then one more question. When I get my citizen through asylum, can I ever go back to my country?
Well, I mean, you certainly, can, but, it would be very suspicious that you're going back after you claimed that you were terrified of going back before, that they were going to kill you, and now you're a citizen, and the next week, all of a sudden, you're traveling. I would think that the government would be very suspicious of that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, okay. Let's go to Renee in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Renee.
Hi, Brad. How are you today?
How you doing?
I'm fine. I have 3 questions for you, so I'm going to be quick, right? My first question, my mother, she applied for her citizenship because she's now 5 years here, but her green card also expired. Does she have to renew her green card?
Not if she doesn't want to.
So she doesn't have to go through the process to renew?
She doesn't have to, but if she needs to travel or renew her license or get a job, she's going to need something. You have to pay the filing fee. But if you want to try to avoid paying the filing fee and she doesn't need it for any reason, then don't do it.
All right. So she doesn't have to go through that process. Thank you. You just saved us some money today.
All right. Congratulations.
All right. My next question, right? I have been here for 2 years. I'm a resident here. And I'd like to file for my husband. He lives in the Cayman Islands. How long does it take? He doesn't have a visitor's visa.
If you're a resident and you never become a citizen, figure 2.5 to 3 years.
2.5 to 3 years. Yes. Thank you. And my final question for you is, I have a friend, right? She's going to file for her adjustment of status.
Right.
How long before she will get her work permit?
5 months.
About 5 months for work permit after adjustment of status. That's what you said?
That's what I said. Oh, I don't know if you're watching me.
All
I'm
right,
just kind of shaking my head. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. So you said 2.5 to 3 years for my husband?
Yes. Why don't you become a citizen?
All right.
How long have you had a resident card?
Just 2 years.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, that's what it's going to be. So go marry him as quickly as possible.
All right. Thank you so much for your help.
Take care. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right, Belgium Kim. Go. All right, we have something we like to call social media check-in. What do we got on social media?
Okay, we've got our very first question.
What were you? Well, I don't know what you were pointing at me. What do you
No,
want me to
it's
do?
fine, Brad. Don't ruin the BTS moments. It's fine.
Okay. Got it. Got it. That information would have been helpful a few minutes ago. Social media check-in, Belgium.
Mr. Onaginor said, what about the administrative process with the form DS 5535 after an immigrant visa interview?
What about the process?
What about administrative process? So what does it mean? Let's say, what does the administrative processing mean?
That means they're investigating you. They don't want to make a decision on your case. It's a catch-all for, we're not ready to give you a green card yet. You got to give them like 60 days. It could mean 100 different things. That's just their catch-all of, we're not ready to give you a green card yet. Wait 60 days. If you don't hear anything, then give us a call. We'll follow up and see what the problem is.
Sorav, I'm going to try and condense this because it's real long. Sorav says, I got the 221G, and after submitting all my documents, they asked for more. A few days later, they sent me my documents, which I submitted, and they sent a letter with documents written based on your interview you submitted to the General Consulate. We will be returning the petition to the USCIS for review and possible revocation.
That means you did not do a very good job on your interview. They're going to cancel your approved petition. Perhaps they usually do it on marriage cases where they don't believe it's a real marriage.
Dale Hobson says, hey, what do they do to you for meth charges in Pakistan? Probably not as forgiving, but I'm a translator and I have a better education than most people in my homeland.
He has a meth charge from Pakistan?
Yeah.
If it's a guilty plea, you're not coming to America, no matter what your education is.
If they're doing an investigation on a first case and I already did by biometric, how much longer before I get a work permit and an interview? And why is my receipt number stuck at fingerprinting fee was revived for over 7 months now?
They're investigating you and you want to know when you're going to get a work permit and why immigration hasn't changed.
Fingerprints fee.
The fingerprint fee on the computer when you go log in.
Oh, maybe.
Yes, that's the questions he wants to know.
Wow.
Okay, not knowing anything about why they're investigating you,
right,
or what you filed,
right,
how you filed, and if
right.
you filed properly. This is a question for Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball, why in the world is this man not getting his work permit?
Why?
They're investigating him. It says yes.
Perfect.
The answer is yes. I have no
The
idea.
answer's
You would need to come in and see us, and we'll have to go through your whole case.
4 a.m. said, upon leaving the U.S. after overstaying for 11 years to return to Barbados, I did not present the I-94 card, so it only had the date of entry on it. Would this affect my U.S. consulate interview in Barbados?
He overstayed 4 years?
11 years.
11 years. And how long ago did he leave?
That we do not know.
Okay, so what he's saying to us.
Yeah.
I lived in America for 11 years illegally, but I tried to be sneaky by not submitting my I-94.
Right.
I am now telling the world how sneaky I am.
Right.
I actually trying to break the law by trying to say I didn't overstay when I did.
For over a decade.
Right. Mr. Bernstein.
Right.
The question is what? Will the government find out that I'm a liar?
Yes.
Yes, they will. Be honest.
Yeah.
That was the question, I think.
Trina, yeah, it is. Well, rereading, I was
Yes.
like, that's not very clear what the question is, but that's the question.
By the way, I don't know why Marge hates the Magic 8 Ball.
What do you mean?
She says she hates the Magic 8 Ball. The Magic 8 Ball is for questions that are impossible for me to answer, and only the Magic 8 Ball would know the answers to that.
That's true, they are, and that's exactly who answers them.
Correct.
We've got a question from Trina who said, my question is, I got married in 2017 to a U.S. citizen, but he took my daughter and I to the U.S. and we came on our B1, B2 visas and overstayed our 6 months. Now he said he does not want to file for us. What steps should I take? He goes to Jamaica every month and leaves us here sometimes without food or money. My daughter is 17 and this situation is stressing her out so much.
What?
So, she came with her husband on a B1, B2, and she overstayed her B1, B2 with her 17-year-old daughter. At the time, her daughter was 15. Now, it seems like hubby is no longer willing to file for them, and not only that.
Oh, we answered this before. And perhaps there was an emotional abuse case.
Well, there is no perhaps. He is leaving them locked in a room for days at a time without food or money while he goes to Jamaica.
Well, then that's emotional abuse.
Right.
That's physical abuse too.
Absolutely.
Right. Literally locked in a room.
She said he goes to Jamaica every month and leaves us here sometimes without food or money.
Okay.
So we don't know.
I don't know about but not locked in a room.
It doesn't say locked in a room,
Right,
but I mean,
okay.
like if he's leaving them stranded at home, there's
yes.
not much place they can go.
Exactly.
Tanvir says, why is USCIS taking so much time for I-30 spousal visa approvals?
There's a guy by the name of Donald Trump. There's a guy by the name of Barr. And there's a monster by the name of Stephen Miller. You can Google any of those three names and you'll get the answer to why it's taking so long.
Sharon says, why does it take so long for petitions to be approved? I'm a citizen for a married daughter over 21.
See my last answer.
James says, as a new immigrant to the U.S., can I travel to another state with 3 days of my arrival?
Enjoy your trips to every state in America.
No.
Yes.
Oyen says, I went for the I-485 interview without my abusive husband today and asked for the officer to hold my I-485 in abeyance. So she gave me a tough time and finally agreed to hold my case for 30 days and I should mail the VAWA receipt notice. After 2 hours, I got notice that my I-485 was canceled. Is this normal?
No, it's not. You should have been with an attorney.
Rodrigo Silva says, my wife only has 2 years worth of tax returns because she was in college. Her yearly income is 4 times above the poverty level for 2018 and 2019. Are we still going to need an affidavit of support from someone else?
No, sounds like you're okay.
Kershid said, hey, Brad, my marriage case is pending, and it's been pending for the last 160 days. After receiving the receipt, I didn't get anything else after the biometric, and I need to travel in June. I've applied for my advanced parole, but haven't gotten it yet. How can I travel?
Make an InfoPass appointment, bring your plane ticket with you, and have a good business reason why you need to travel. It's not a vacation, it's a business reason.
Pretty Mon Love said, I filed my I-360. They sent me to do a biometric, which they only did my right index finger. They took my picture
We
and
did this one.
Yeah?
She called.
Okay, so good.
Right.
Shanika says, how long does the I-130 take to approve if a U.S. citizen is filing for me and the kids are in Jamaica?
About 12 to 15 months.
And she's wondering, nope, same question. Navneet said, my I-485 employment-based interview, I have 1 dismissed petty theft via a diversion program. How should I handle that during the interview, and how do you declare the traffic ticket during the interview?
Well, the petty theft, you tell the truth, and you go get a disposition, and if you were put in diversion, that means that you were never found guilty of anything. So you bring a disposition, and they ask you, have you ever been arrested? You say yes. Have you ever been found guilty of anything? The answer is no. Here's my disposition. Done. Tell the truth and show the document. And traffic tickets do not prevent you from getting a green card.
Gaza Mila said, what are some of the questions they ask children that are 20 and under at the interview?
What interview? What kind of interview? Is this an interview for a summer job? An
interview
for a green card?
interview.
Yeah, but I don't know who's sponsoring what.
That we do not know.
It depends on how old. They're not asking a 6-year-old anything. They may ask a 20-year-old questions about admissibility or inadmissibility, about how they entered, fraud, lying to the government, relationships with your family. It depends on the age of the child.
Kahai said, when you file an I-130, should you receive a letter telling you that it's approved?
Hopefully, yes.
If you've done it all right.
You did it right.
Juliet E. said, I have a social security number and used to have a work permit. I can't renew, but I'm still working. I've been married to a green card holder and my I-130 is approved. Will I get in trouble?
She's working out of status.
Right.
With a social security number that's in her name.
Yes.
And she has an approved I-130 married to a green card holder.
Yes.
If she does a provisional waiver, working out of status would not prevent her, if she gets it approved, from getting a green card if she goes home or if she waits on her husband's citizenship. I assume this is a woman, right?
Yes.
And if she waits on her husband's citizenship, adjusting her status and working out of status is not a bar to adjusting your status. That was like a tongue twister. So assuming she becomes a citizen, the fact that she worked out of status will not prevent her from getting a green card. It's a better way to phrase it.
That is yeah.
Yes.
So Beverly Robinson King is having a little bit of an issue.
What is the issue?
So my attorney sent my documents off last February. It was the VAWA, the adjustment of status, and the work authorization, and I did my biometric last March. So about over a year ago now. Now, the attorney calls me and told me that they sent off my papers under the wrong code of C9 instead of C31 or C31 instead of C9, and they just had to send it again 3 weeks ago. How long do you think this is going to impact my wait time?
5 months.
Damn.
So she did an adjustment, and they did the work permit under C31. You do the work permit under C31 once your VAWA petition is approved. If your VAWA petition is not approved, it's a C9 on an adjustment. Now, people have no idea what I'm talking about, except those people who have literally filled out the work permit application, which is the I-765.
Right.
Because on the work, it's just confusing. On the work permit application, it says, what section of law are you entitled to a work permit? And the instruction list gives about 10 pages of different sections of law on why you may be entitled to a work permit. So under one section, which is C31, it says I'm an approved VAWA petition, and on another I have a pending adjustment. So the reason why C31 doesn't work when you file the VAWA petition is because it's not approved yet. You're only entitled to the work permit on a VAWA once it's approved. But you're always entitled to a work permit if you have a pending adjustment, which is why I tell everybody, file your adjustment so at least you get something.
We've got a question from Grandma who's asking for her friend, and this is one of those where I legitimately have no idea what the real answer is, Brad.
Grandma has a lot of friends.
She does.
Lots of friends.
We're Grandma's friends.
I know, but she always has friends she's always asking questions for.
That's true. She said her friend's son and daughter-in-law have been living with her, but they've been extremely abusive to her in every way except physically.
Who is living with who?
So the friend, her son, and daughter-in-law. So Grandma's friend, let's call her Mary.
Abusive to the parent. Parental abuse.
Right, exactly.
There is a VAWA for parental abuse.
And that's the question. But so it is only emotional abuse.
There's VAWA for parents. Adult children being abusive to a parent is the same position as a U.S. citizen spouse being abusive to a spouse or to a child.
Oh, wow.
So there's extreme emotional abuse. By all means, you can file it.
Great. MS says, I migrated back to Barbados for over 12 years now, but my mother, who's a citizen, filed for me 7 years ago in New York. 4 years ago, she moved back to Barbados. Should my mother migrate back to New York in a month or two before my priority date becomes current to show that she's actually living there? And if so, when would be the best time for her to do so if my priority date becomes current in November of this year?
Yeah, it sounds like your mom should go back and live in America because the whole purpose of you getting a green card is to join your mom in America. Quicker the better would be my advice.
Anthony Reed said, I received a receipt from USCIS. Is it okay to go to the DMV to get a driver's license in Florida?
No, you need a work permit, not a receipt.
And finally, we've got Ken Kibbett, who said, can an individual who's been deported from the U.S. come back or apply to come back in any way once you...
Depends what you were deported for.
Okay.
Because there's two reasons to prevent you from coming back. The underlying reason why you were deported, plus the order of deportation. Those are two separate reasons. So everybody who was ordered deported needs a waiver to come back after deportation. But there's also the underlying factual or legal reason why you're deported. Some people are deported just because they overstayed their time. Some people are deported because they committed a crime. Some people are deported because they had a 2-year green card and couldn't remove the conditions of their permanent residence. I'm just talking off the top of my head. 3 different possibilities. So if you're deported because you overstayed, well, then you need a waiver to come back for the 10-year bar unless that deportation was more than 10 years ago. If you were deported for a crime, you need a deportation waiver plus a waiver for the crime if one is available. For example, drugs, there's no waiver available. So it really depends. It's fact specific on each particular deportation. Meanwhile, Belgium Kim, I know we do have more social media questions. I want everyone to hang out because we're going to get to our speed round in about 10 minutes or so. So everybody who has not gotten their question answered yet, leave your questions in the comment section now. I'm going to answer them in a speed round in about 10 minutes. But in the meantime, we do have to celebrate Earth Day. Today is Earth Day, and it's a celebration. Belgium Kim, you went out on the streets today.
I sure did.
Right, to test New Yorkers on their Earth Day knowledge. Let's watch.
Hey Brad Squad, it's Belgium Kim, and today we are celebrating Earth Day Bradshow Lifestyle. That's right, Earth Day is an annual event meant to celebrate our planet and bring us together to renew our commitment to a healthier, cleaner, and safer world for all of us to live in. Play along with every New Yorker we put to the test as we test their Earth Day knowledge and find out how they celebrate the big day. Make sure to let us know how you plan on celebrating in the comments as you're playing along. Check it out. Hey Brad Squad, I'm here with Erica. Thank you so much for stopping, Erica.
No problem.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
How are you celebrating today?
By not using any plastic utensils.
Ooh, nice. That's a great way to celebrate. Okay, Bernita. It is Earth Day, and you look very springy today. Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
How are you celebrating today?
Unfortunately at work after Easter Sunday, but that's all right. That's all right. Gotta make that money.
Yes. Happy Earth Day.
Yes.
The day of the paper.
Yes.
Hey, Brad Squad. I am here with Colleen, David, Annabelle, and Zoe, and they are about to take our Earth Day trivia quiz. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Girls, are we feeling ready? Family, I am here with our very first contestants. It's Micah and Ginny for the win.
Happy Earth Day!
Woo! Man, they are super hype for Earth Day. How are you guys celebrating today?
Oh, with an amazing picnic. This is our dance crew. We just shot a music video.
And now we're having a picnic in the park for Earth Day.
Oh, what a delightful way. Okay, now I've got some Earth Day fun facts trivia for you. How are you feeling about this?
Nervous but excited.
Let's go. Let's go.
We got this.
Jenny did the game show exhale. Like, you know it's real. She's like, I got this. Okay, game show exhale. Hopefully it worked. Okay, number one. When was Earth Day first celebrated? Was it A, April 22nd, 1910? B, April 22nd, 1969? C, April 22nd, 1970? Or D, April 22nd, 1988?
I feel like my first mind before we had the options was in the 80s.
I'll go with your response. I'm feeling that.
All right.
I was like 70s or 80s.
70s or 80s.
70s
All right.
or 80s.
1988.
Let's go with 1988.
I'm gonna say 88.
Feel good about 88?
I feel good about final answer.
D, 1988?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Girl, I just repeated your answer back to you.
Wait, what were the other ones?
Was it A, 1910, B, 1969, C, 1970, or D, 1988?
Day.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll go with J then.
Whole family? We like D?
D. Actually, can I change it to like 69?
You can.
Yeah.
69?
Yep.
Okay. No. It is 1970. The answer was C, 1970.
I was so close. But we were hitting it.
Yeah, you were so close. You were like 18 years off. It's not even that much. It's an entire voting age human. It's not. It's 1970.
Oh, okay. I figured 80, 70.
80. It was in there. It was in there. Apparently, we were a lot woker a lot earlier on than we realized. The very first Earth Day was celebrated on April 22nd, 1970. Who founded Earth Day? Was it A, David Attenborough, B, Al Gore, C, Gaylord Nelson, or D, Wangari Maathai?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
You got this. Erica, you got a gut feeling. What's your gut tell you?
Maybe C. I don't even know which one C is.
Gaylord Nelson is C.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not?
He sounds like a guy that would make Earth Day, right?
Yeah, why not?
Who founded Earth Day? The confidence is real. Who founded Earth Day? Was it A, David Attenborough, B, Al Gore, C, Gaylord Nelson, or D, Wangari Maathai?
Okay, what are you thinking? I'm thinking A or C, but what do I know?
I was thinking David Attenborough.
That's A.
Yeah, that's
Let's go with A. All right, we're going with David Attenborough.
And why are we going with David Attenborough?
Because he makes bomb documentaries.
Yeah, he does.
Now, Al Gore sounds good. But if it's 1970, was Al Gore really around that time?
That's right. I like the deductions happening here.
B.
B. We're thinking Al Gore. Possibly. What do you think?
Girls.
A.
What do you think?
C.
Then unfortunately, y'all, the answer is C.
I'm gonna say C.
C. Gaylord Nelson?
Yes.
Yes, Queens! Gaylord Nelson! It was Wisconsin Senator Gaylord Nelson who in September 1969 proposed a national teach-in on the environment to send a message to Washington that public opinion was solidly behind a bold political agenda on environmental problems. However, Nelson insisted that the first Earth Day's activities be created not by organizers in Washington, but by individuals and groups in their very own communities. As a result, 1 in 10 Americans participated in the very first Earth Day, drawing extensive attention from the media and jump-starting an era of bold environmental legislation. What is the official name for Earth Day? There's an official Earth Day name, y'all. What is it? Is it A, International Mother Earth Day? Is it B, Earth Day? Is it C, Day of Earth / ginormous bumblebee about to murder us? That's cool. So C, Day of Earth, or D, Mother Earth Appreciation Day?
Earth Day?
Question mark?
Earth Day. I choose Earth Day right there.
What is Earth Day's official name? Is it A, the International Mother Earth Day? Is it B, Earth Day? Is it C, Day of Earth? Or is it D, Mother Earth Appreciation Day?
B.
What do you think?
B.
You think B?
I think it might be B.
I'm gonna say A.
Yes! Bernita, you're killing it!
Double is going on.
You are up on your Earth Day facts! Yes!
Oh, I think it's D.
I'm feeling Mother Earth Appreciation Day. That rolls right off the tongue.
Right off the
It
top.
does, right? I should probably be in charge of Earth Day marketing because I came up with that actually, because the correct answer is International Mother Earth Day. Y'all.
Yo.
Actually, International Mother Earth Day. Earth Day was officially renamed International Mother Earth Day by the UN in 2009. On Earth Day 2012, okay? How did 100,000 people celebrate Earth Day in China? Did they A, ride skateboards, B, ride bikes, C, ride the metro, or D, did they all rollerblade? On Earth Day of 2012, how did 100,000 people celebrate in China? Did they ride skateboards, ride bikes, ride the metro, or did they all rollerblade?
Maybe right. Rollerblades? No?
You tell me.
I don't know. Bike. They got a lot of people in China. There's a lot of people in China. They ride their bike.
Here's what we do.
Okay.
We pick two different answers, and then one of us is gonna be right.
I'm going to go with rollerblade.
Okay. Then I'll go with riding bikes.
It was one of those two.
It's one of those two.
Picture a wave of 100,000 people. What would they be doing on Earth Day?
I would say riding a bike. Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
Girl, you got this. Be confident with an answer. Give me an answer.
Ride a bike.
You're right. They totally rode a bike. They all rode bikes. 100,000 people rode bikes. Come on.
All right.
I'm proud
We're back in the game.
You're back in the game. In 2012, more than 100,000 people rode bicycles in China to bring awareness to the rising CO2 emissions in the country. In an Earth Day celebration in 2011, how many trees were planted in Afghanistan by the Earth Day Network? Was it A, 150,000, B, 1 million, C, 10 million, or D, 28 million trees?
C. D.
D.
I'm gonna say C.
See?
C?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 150,000. It can't be a million. That's a lot.
That's crazy.
That's too many.
That's so many.
Let's be like thoughtful about this.
Let's be thoughtful.
2010.
I'm gonna go with A.
I'm gonna go with 150,000.
That was the one I went. Okay, yeah, cool. We got it.
It's probably 150,000. No.
28 million trees, Erica.
28 million trees. Wow.
Bernina, you were on a hot streak.
I'm on fire.
But not now.
Oh. See, I was listening to my calling my friend.
You were. It's 28 million trees.
In Afghanistan?
In Afghanistan. 28 million trees.
That's nuts.
In Afghanistan?
In Afghanistan.
Insane. I didn't even know, like,
Give me a high five, baby girl. It's D, 28 million. You're totally right. Yes, queen. Yes. In a 2011 Earth Day celebration, the Earth Day Network planted a whopping 28 million trees in Afghanistan. In Panama, 100 endangered species of what were planted to prevent their extinction in honor of Earth Day? Was it A, oak trees, B, orchids, C, roses, or D, lilies?
Oak trees?
Aren't roses actually going extinct, or am I making that up? I'm gonna go with
in Panama?
Oak trees.
In Panama.
Okay, so you go with oak trees, and then
Not Jenny.
I'll go with roses.
Lilies. Oh, that's
A.
A. David?
Nothing. I'll go with I.
I'm gonna say orchids.
Girl, take a bow, take a spin. You are by far the winner of the Earth Day Trivia Quiz today.
Yay!
It was 100% orchids. Yes, thank you. You gotta enlighten us. Where did you get all of this phenomenal Earth Day knowledge from, Bernita?
The Earth and Jesus Christ. He's up there. He's listening.
With the help of high school students across Panama, nonprofit organization Pro Vacay planted and cared for 100 endangered species of orchids to stop their extinction. All right, Brad Squad, thank you so much for sticking around and playing along with our Earth Day trivia. As you can see, these New Yorkers were not quite up to par, so I hope you guys did better. Make sure to let us know what you guys did for Earth Day today in the comments and how you plan to be a better global citizen for the year to come. All right, Brad Squad, I'm out. Until next time, see ya.
Good job there, Belgium Kim. By the way, and I've said this a lot, there is a huge correlation between climate change.
Yes.
Because it's not just global, it's global warming around, but climate change, some places getting colder, some places getting warmer. Overall, the Earth is getting warmer. There is a huge correlation between climate change and migration patterns, immigration patterns, simply because there are people who are living in areas that would live off the land, farm, fish, that are unable to do so. They got to move. It's getting too hot, it's getting too cold. And it forces people to move from areas where they lived for long, and their ancestors lived for a very long period of time. And as global warming or climate change, I like to use climate change. I got to stop saying global warming, because it's really climate change.
Right.
As climate change really affects the world in the next 5-10 years, you're going to see immigration patterns, migration patterns really change as a result. In 2017 alone, there were 19 million people who were displaced in 130 countries worldwide by extreme weather events. That is more displacement of people than by all the wars in the world at the same period of time.
Oh my God.
And despite this, climate refugees lack any formal definition. They're called climate refugees, and that's what we're calling them. But who knows? There's no definition of who they are.
Right.
They don't have any real definition. But maybe we should start calling them climate refugees. We'll start a trend.
Right.
Hashtag climate refugees. There's no recognition or protection of them under international law. And the locations that are most at risk for climate change related stresses in the near term include India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, South America, and Africa. It's going to affect over 1 billion people.
Wow.
And you're going to see it's going to affect the migration of people, and it's going to cause a lot of migration from underdeveloped countries that can't deal with the stresses of climate change to more developed countries. And it's going to be because of economic reasons more than anything else.
Right. Wow. Unbelievable.
All right, Belgium Kim. Let's do something we like to. It's a new segment we like to call Speed Round because we want to get all of our social media questions in. We have, I understand, 50 questions.
Yes.
Exactly. Belgium Kim told me right before the end of the Man on the Street Climate
Earth Day edition.
Earth Day edition.
Yep.
Let's put 10 minutes on the clock. We have 10 minutes on the clock. We have a clock. Is there a clock?
So.
It's happening.
It's happening right now.
There is a clock. Marge Higgs is going to come with a stopwatch soon, with a manual stopwatch.
Our
if we don't,
statistician and
the
stopwatch
statistician.
user.
Apparently, there is a clock somewhere.
Yeah.
There is a statistician. If not, we will go without the clock. We will go without the clock. So what we're going to do is we're going to give myself 10 minutes, and we're going to answer 50 social media questions. And I'm told to talk about Earth more. Let's see. What else is going on Earth? What do you want me to talk about? Oh, there's the clock.
Hey,
we have the clock.
We have a clock.
We have a clock. Does the clock work?
It
We're
does.
going to find out. So Marge Higgs, put your stopwatch away. We have a clock. Our unpaid employee.
You know.
Right. She could still keep time anyway.
Of course.
All right. 50 questions. Marge Higgs can keep track of the questions because we don't have a counter for questions yet.
Not
but
yet.
We have a 10-minute clock in the background. So what I'm going to ask Julian, the TriCaster guy, to do is just show Belgium Kim and me together like this, and we're going to do the clock, and we're going to do a social media. There it is. Up, down, a little bit to the left. Yeah, perfect. Okay. And we're going to do 10 minutes. Just keep this. And I'm going to look right at the screen, Belgium Kim.
Okay.
And we're going to do 10 minutes, 50 questions. Let's go.
Our first question is from Dari, who said, do I need to provide proof that I returned back to my native country 12 years ago so that the U.S. consulate will know I served the 10-year bar, or would they already know that?
They wouldn't necessarily know it. It'd be nice if you did it.
JJ Clark said, Mom was here with her daughter's father. The relationship was abusive and Mom went back home with a child who's 3 now. She had already overstayed here in the U.S., but this year her grandmother brought the 3-year-old back to the U.S. to live with the child's aunt so that she can attend school. They brought the 3-year-old here to live in the U.S. The dad is a citizen and came to see the child at the aunt's home and requested that the child spend time with him. It's been 4 months and the child did not take the child back, and now he's saying he's not giving them back the child. What can Mom do? Mom is back home and has overstayed here.
Well, the aunt should have gone into court and gotten custody of the child before giving it over to the father. The father has rights over the aunt, and the aunt can't do much. The mother can try to come back to the United States. I don't know what her status is to try to get some sort of custody, but the father trumps the aunt. Screwed up completely.
Damn.
Yeah.
We've got another question from Lloyd, who says, can a green card holder travel on vacation without his or her spouse?
Yes.
Tracy says, hey, I have a pressing question. If you take a VAWA case in a different state other than the one your offices are, does the person have to attend your office for any interviews?
No, we would go fly to you wherever you are, and we can do everything over the phone and by email.
McDuff says somebody was deported for a credit card fraud and was jailed for 3 years and deported in '98 and was told she can only come back after 10 years. Does the person need waivers for the crime, and does the waiver for deportation, and how long does that take to be approved?
You need waivers for both, and waivers take over a year.
Renee says, if my green card expires, do I need to renew it when applying for naturalization?
Not necessarily, not if you don't need it.
Denisha says, can someone leave the U.S. without their green card in hand, or could it be mailed to them in their foreign country?
Absolutely.
Kahai said, when you file an I-130, should you receive a letter saying it's approved, and how long before you get that letter?
You should get an approval. I think we answered that question already. And it takes 12 to 15 months, assuming you're getting filed by a U.S. citizen.
Kim says, if my husband is filing an adjustment of status for me and also filing one for my kids through email, will the file be the same?
No, it's separate I-130s.
Kajelia says, do I need to have separate documents when filing the I-485 for my daughter and for myself?
Yes.
Has VAWA been reauthorized yet?
Not yet, but they're accepting cases through September 30th, and the House has already passed it.
Cami said that can a person that is retired co-sponsor?
Yes.
Ashoka says, what's the process time now for marriage-based adjustment of status if you are married to a U.S. citizen?
If you file right now, it's taking like 6 months. People who filed a year ago are taking 12 to 30 months.
Du Bois Handsome says, what is the law that says with regards to intent? For example, if I enter the U.S. on January 3rd of 2018 and I married my spouse on February 13th.
You made a misrepresentation. You got to wait 90 days. You're going to need a waiver.
Quincy says, I'm a first-time watcher. If I was given my employment authorization card with a special immigration status and it's been 215 days since I've heard from them, what do I do? I forgot to mention that I'm in New York State and I filed for my SIJ before I was 21.
You should get a green card if you file for SIJ before 21. There's been a class action lawsuit, and the government has 60 days to reinstate all those cases.
Our next question is from Fiona, who says, is it possible for a parent to adjust the status of her 19-year-old who's also in the U.S. when she applies to adjust her status?
Who wants to adjust whose status?
A parent wants to adjust the status of the 19-year-old who's also in the U.S. when she's so mom is about to adjust her status.
I don't know who's sponsoring you, Mom. Right. And when did you get married? If it's a marriage, it had to be before 18.
Sammy says, a friend of mine would like to know how long it would take to be called for a marriage interview after receiving your work authorization in New York.
6 months if you file in 2019. If you filed in 2018, 12 to 30 months.
I've been married to a U.S. citizen for the last 7 years, and we've got 2 children, apartments together, credit card, and proof that we've been together. 2 years ago, I was in an application called Credit Karma, and I filed my taxes through them. My mistake was that I said I was single, and I made many mistakes. I don't even know what I was doing. I just did it out of curiosity.
Just go amend your taxes, and everything's fine. You're allowed to fix your taxes. Go amend them.
So here's the problem. Her interview for citizenship is in 2 weeks.
Go amend your taxes.
Okay, so that will solve it before.
Go amend your taxes.
Perfect.
Got it. We have 50 questions, Kim. I answered it.
They're almost there. I want to make sure they get thorough answers.
Clock is running,
Jeanette said, I filed for my husband in Haiti. I received the receipt letter. How long before I get the approval letter?
It could be anywhere from 9 to 15 months.
Mia Montauk says, is it true that a person who was charged with marijuana can't ever become a citizen?
Maybe. I don't know what you were found guilty of.
Grandma's friend is wondering if he can travel to Canada on a prima facie, and is it safe for him to travel to Florida safely on the same?
You cannot travel to Canada on a prima facie. You need advance parole. You can travel to Florida, though.
Jennifer says, a friend of mine is here from 2003. She came on a visa, but she didn't have an interview with the embassy. Her son is a citizen. Can he file for her?
If she came here on a visa, yes.
Joanna says, can my application for naturalization be denied if I filed my status badly and then make an amendment?
What was filed badly?
It sounds like she messed up somehow.
You could fix your citizenship application at the time of the interview before the interview starts.
What is the difference between prima facie and res ipsa loquitur? Can you use both for public assistance?
Res ipsa loquitur?
That is not what is...
Okay, res ipsa loquitur is a concept in torts when, you get injured because it's obvious that the person is at fault. Like a bowling ball falls out of a building. Bowling balls generally don't fall out of buildings unless the building owner is at fault. That has nothing to do with immigration. Immigration, prima facie, what they want to use, just means that they think you have a decent case. But I don't know what they want to use prima facie for.
It doesn't say. It just says, what's the difference?
Okay.
And can you use them for public assistance?
You can use prima facie for public assistance.
Roseanne said, I've got a 10-year visitor's visa, and I'm also a derivative beneficiary on an I-130 petition. Is this going to affect me if I try to obtain a J-1? I have an interview coming up this week.
Having a visitor's visa, would it affect you? No, unless there was some sort of fraud or you did something wrong on the visitor's visa.
Donna says, my fiance just migrated to the U.S. on a green card 2 months ago, and I have a visitor's visa. If I go there, how long will it take for him to get married to me in the U.S. legally?
Wait 90 days after you come.
Renee says, my 10-year green card expired April of 2019, and I applied for naturalization this month. Do I need to renew my green card before doing my interview? Another lawyer told me that if I don't do it, I'm going to be denied citizenship.
No, that's BS. You don't have to renew it. If you can, if you want to, but you don't have to.
Oluwatimi is a U.S. citizen, but he's wondering, do I need a visa to visit France?
If you're a citizen of the United States, no.
Dion says, my father has an indefinite green card with no expiration date, but he's been living outside the country because of family members. He'd now like to return, but was wondering if he'd have a problem.
Yes, he abandoned his residence if he spent more than a year outside of the country. He needs an SB1 visa at the consulate.
Kylie says, I'm kindly seeking your advice. I've overstayed my C1 for the last 29 days in the U.S. Will I be able to return?
Your C1?
Yes.
What's the C1?
I've overstayed my C1 visa.
A crewman visa?
I guess.
Yeah, no, you won't be able to return. You overstayed.
Joanna said, I've been married with a citizen for 7 years and I filed my taxes. Oh, I'm so sorry. We already asked her. Kanu said, I have my cancellation removed individually is done by April 10th. So long I have to wait for the green card.
Yes, you do. See Donald Trump.
Shanika said, can my husband retire after he does the affidavit of support for me and the kids when we got an interview?
Yes, he can. And by the way, cancellation, they only give $10,000 a year, so there's a big waiting list.
Alessia said, my U.S. citizen husband is getting ready to file an I-130 for me, and I'm wondering if I can file the I-765 at the same time.
If you file an I-45 with it as well, yes.
Oh, and then after it's approved, since we don't have the 1800.
No, you need the I-765 goes with the I-45, so.
Kimberly says, I'm a U.S. citizen. How long is it going to take to bring my 38-year-old sister to America if I file for her this year? She lives in the Caribbean.
15 years.
Hey, Brad. Arlene says, do immigrants work on the I-751 by numbers?
I have no idea what that means.
No clue. KKS said, we're getting married 3 days before my son's 18th birthday. Is that going to be a problem for his citizenship?
For his green card, no, because as long as the marriage is before the 18th birthday.
Olusegun says, who can I file for as my relative with my 10-year green card?
Just your children and your spouse. I can't believe we didn't do it, Kim.
That's actually not true, Brad, because the question that we're answering right now.
I don't know. March Hicks says 32.
Yeah, we didn't get there. We still have several.
All right, let's go. All right, we failed.
We failed.
I thought Julian would have went or something. She has to stop us at 10 minutes. Maybe for tomorrow.
Maybe for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many more we got?
We've got about 10 more, Brad.
All right, let's do it quickly.
Okay, great.
I'm so disappointed. We failed.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting at 10 minutes. Okay. Or if we did 50, then it would have been something else. All right, let's do the 10 quickly.
It's going to be less, actually.
Well, we said there was 50, and Marge says there's 35, so what happened to the other 15?
9, 10,
yeah, let's just keep counting.
14.
14. Okay.
We have 14.
All right, let's go quickly.
We've got a question from, there we go, Marva, who said, I sent in my green card paperwork in January of 2019, and I haven't gotten my receipt as of yet. I went back to the office that sent it in, but the lady there told me that someone at USCIS told them that they received the documents, but they can't send out a receipt. Do you know why?
I have no idea, but that doesn't sound right to me.
Lionel says, I've been in the U.S. since 2017 on an F1 visa, and I'm going to be graduating next fall. Any suggestions on how I can get a green card?
Get a work permit for the 1 year after you graduate, and get your employer to sponsor you for an H-1B, and then ultimately a job sponsorship.
Roseanne said, I'm a derivative beneficiary on an I-130 petition that's pending. I also have a 10-year visitor's visa. I live in Jamaica, and I recently applied for a J1 student visa, and my interview is this week. Will the pending I-130 petition affect my chances of getting the J1 visa? I've traveled many times before on my visitors.
Yes, because an I-130 means that you have an intent to stay permanently, and a J1's a non-immigrant intent, so you'll probably be denied on the J1.
Del Rito said, my spouse came up on a J1 visa from Jamaica. I just got naturalized recently. How long will the process take for her to get her green card in New York? From the Brooklyn field office.
There is no Brooklyn field office. New York.
Okay.
Federal Plaza. 6 months if you file now.
Ilyas says, I have one DUI in April 17th in a parking lot. I got supervision for 18 months, so April of 2017. I got supervision for 18 months, and I've done everything. My license did not get suspended. Would I be okay if I applied for citizenships, and how are my chances of actually getting it?
What happened?
Got a DUI.
That could be a problem. It's a moral character issue.
Ken Kibbitt said, my friend was locked up by immigration after being arrested and charged with strangulation. He said his wife's dropped the charges, but being held up with ICE even after having a 2-year conditional green card. He was still deported. What are the grounds of him coming back to the U.S.?
What was he convicted of?
He wasn't convicted of anything, and his wife dropped the charges.
So then why was he deported?
We don't know. Tali says, can you get denied if your amended tax return takes too long to get an answer from the IRS? My interview's in a week.
If your amended tax return, just get a printout from the IRS. You can go wait online.
4 a.m. said, I asked earlier, but I don't think you understood. I overstayed by 11 years and left to go back to my home country and did not present the I-94 card, so it only had the entry date. I've been home for over 10 years, and my family's consulate interview is soon. Would the interviewer know that I did not give the I-94 on exit, and would that be a problem?
Oh, no, that's not a problem. I didn't misunderstand. I thought he was trying to, like fool the government.
No.
No, that's not a problem.
Beverly Wright says, I'm a citizen. It says, I'm a citizen, and I'm wondering, my daughter is over 21. What year are they up to?
What year are they up to? 2011.
Okay.
December.
Fortunate says, I learned that as of February 2019, USCIS stopped in-person inquiry info passes. They now take your inquiries on the phone and then forward you to your local USCIS office, who then sends you an email. Is that right?
Who's not taking?
USCIS is no longer taking in-person inquiry info passes.
At the local office they are.
Laddie Brown said, how long does it take to get your green card after you paid for it?
12 weeks.
Lisa says, how long after filing your removal should you actually get the biometrics?
6-8 weeks.
And that's all we got. Woo!
All right.
That's a lot.
We didn't do it today. We lost. We lost 10 minutes ago. There's no winning today.
Boom.
Well, except for the people whose questions I answered. They all were winners.
Won. Exactly.
Right, but we were not winners because we didn't.
Thousands of people who got free immigration.
Correct. We're all winners today, but we were not winners because I said I would do 50 questions in 10 minutes. We did 34.
That's true.
All right, we got to do better for Guinness Book of World Records, Kim.
Yes, we do.
We got to practice better.
Okay.
All right, comments of the day.
Okay, I've got no idea what we're doing here. Okay, our very first comment is from Clive Stewart, who said, Kim, let Brad know that I ain't new, I just started to interact.
Okay.
And he wanted to follow up and say, by the way, he disagrees with Grandma. I love that 8-ball. It never lies.
It never lies, the 8-ball.
We've got another comment from First Lady Hewitt. Says, Brad is working hard today. Lots of calls.
That's right. I was working hard.
You were working hard.
Yes.
We've got another one from Anna K. Moxham. We've got a couple of people who told us how they celebrated Earth Day today. And Anna K. said, for Earth Day, I made chocolate mousse cups with Oreo topping, which looks like worms coming out of the earth, and a sprig of mint. And I also made Earth Day brownies with the same topping.
Oh my God, that is a big Earth Day celebration going on over there.
That's celebrating like a pastry chef.
Apparently, she's the pastry chef.
Oh,
I was going to say, apparently she's not in the challenge. She was the pastry chef.
She is the pastry chef.
Yes.
We've also got another comment from Levon D. Tucker, who said, I want to say that this show has taught me a lot. Over the weekend, I found myself telling my friends about immigration, and they were actually surprised to learn that you can sue the government and that people who are seeking legal asylum are still being detained.
That is right.
That's absolutely right.
That is
You
right.
have learned.
That is right.
And then finally, we've got a little fact check situation happening.
Fact check.
From Asghar Khan, who said, Miss Kim, are you sure it was not Pakistan? Because the Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan did plant a bunch of trees. Now,
for Afghanistan or Pakistan for the 20 million, right?
Exactly, 28 million.
I don't pretend to know that answer. That's a Belgium Kim question.
So I do know this answer.
Uh-huh.
So Pakistan did hit a 1 billion tree planting goal in August of 2017. And there's a bunch of different places that have a 1 billion tree planting goal for a lot of reasons. However, for this particular one that we were talking about in 2011, I believe, it was Afghanistan where they planted 28 million
How do you
trees.
plant 28 million trees?
It's
a
seedlings,
lot. That's
Brad.
what?
It's seedlings, like it's just seeds.
Oh, I'm
Are
like
you-
I'm like
you're
thinking
thinking
you have to
like
like
a
dig like
forest.
someone, yeah, like a forest, and all of a sudden there's the forest.
No. Don't think.
So
of
these
them-
trees will take a long time to grow.
Well, right, 100%, but at least they're planted.
They're planted.
Right.
All right. Well, excellent job, Belgium Kim.
Thanks, Brad.
All right. Pulling the toe for both you and Yo-Yo today.
Yeah.
We'll fill him in tomorrow what happened.
Yes, we're
Unless
gonna
he's
have
watching, but I don't think so. Maybe on an airplane right now without Wi-Fi.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. 5:30 or maybe Brad Show live time 5:40, somewhere in there. Take care. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
What are you doing?